The unexpected encounter. The night was quiet, almost too quiet. The sky above was filled with stars and the desert air was dry and cold. No animals moved, no winds blew, just silence. Liam, a lone human survivor, sat beside a small fire in the middle of the rocky wasteland. He had lived alone for 3 years ever since the last shuttle left Earth behind. He wasn't chosen. He was forgotten. But Liam was used to that. He looked up at the stars and whispered, "Do you even remember we exist?" Just as he finished speaking, a flash of light tore across the sky. At first Liam thought it was a meteor, but then it changed direction. Twice. Meteors didn't do that. The light became brighter, louder. It roared like thunder as it dropped, lower and lower, heading straight for the cliffs behind Liam's shelter. He stood up, heart pounding. The ground shook as the object crashed with a force that sent dust flying for miles. Liam grabbed his old rifle, the one he never had to use, and ran toward the smoke. What he found was not metal, not a ship, not something cold or sharp. Instead, lying in the shallow crater, was a woman, or something like a woman. Her skin shimmered silver under the moonlight. Her hair floated slightly, as if underwater. Her eyes opened slowly, glowing like 2 pieces of burning ice. She looked straight at Liam, not in fear, not in anger, but like she had been waiting for him. Liam froze. "You are human," she said in a soft, broken voice. He lowered his weapon slightly. "What are you?" The alien woman tried to sit up but groaned and collapsed again. Blood, or something close to it, leaked from a wound on her side. Liam hesitated. She might be dangerous, she might be a trap. But then again, she looked like she was in pain and she looked scared. He knelt beside her and reached out. "You're hurt." Her hand grabbed his wrist suddenly, strong and fast. "Don't leave me," she said. "I wasn't going to." Her grip loosened, and she lost consciousness. Liam carried her back to his shelter, laying her gently on his only bed. He had many questions. Who was she? Why did she fall here? How did she know what humans were? He cleaned the wound as best he could with what little supplies he had. Her blood was blue and warm, and her skin reacted strangely to his touch, glowing slightly where his fingers met hers. Hours passed. She slept. When she finally opened her eyes, she stared at the ceiling for a long time before whispering, "This world smells sad." Liam chuckled a little. "You got that right." The alien woman turned her head toward him. "What do I have to do to marry you, human?" Liam blinked. "What?" "Marry. Bond. Unite. Whatever you call it. What must I do?" "Wait. Hold on," Liam said, raising his hands. "You just crashed here, nearly died, and now you're talking about marriage?" "Yes," she said simply, as if it were obvious. Liam shook his head. "You don't even know me." "I do," she said softly. "We have studied humans for years. Only one could save my kind. I came to find that one. And you think it's me?" "I don't think," she said, sitting up slowly. "I know." Liam felt cold suddenly. Something in her voice wasn't a guess. It was certainty. And worse, hope. "Listen," he said carefully. "I'm not anyone important. I was left behind, forgotten. Why would your people want me?" "Because you are untouched by war. Your heart is not poisoned. You still remember kindness." Liam looked away. "Please," she whispered. "If I fail, my world dies." He stared at her, beautiful, strange, glowing with otherworldly energy, and yet broken and desperate like any other soul lost in this universe. The fire crackled between them. "What's your name?" Liam asked. She hesitated. "In your language, Alira." "Okay, Alyra," he said. "I don't know what's going on here, but I'll help you. I'll keep you safe until you can leave." "I cannot leave," she said. "Not without completing the bond." Liam sighed. One step at a time, all right? Alira nodded, but as she did, she whispered something in her own tongue. Liam didn't understand it, but it felt like a promise. And outside, hidden in the shadows of the rocks, something else watched them. Something that did not want the bond to happen. Her reason shocked him. The next morning, Liam woke up to silence. He blinked at the sunlight pouring through the cracked window of his shelter. For a moment, he thought everything from last night had been a dream. But then he turned his head. Alira was awake. She was sitting quietly looking at a broken picture frame on his table, the only photo Liam had left of his family. "They are gone?" she asked softly. Liam nodded. "Yeah, long time ago." She stared at the picture with a strange expression, like she was trying to understand something too deep for words. Liam poured some water into a tin cup and handed it to her. "You okay?" "Yes," she said. "Thank you for helping me. Not many would have done that." Liam shrugged. "You were bleeding. I didn't have a choice." "You did," Alira said. "And you chose to help." Her voice was calm, but Liam could sense something hidden behind her words. Something heavy. He sat down across from her. "Last night you said something about bonding," he said. "You were serious, weren't you?" "Yes." "But why?" he asked. "Why me? Why a human?" She looked down. "Because no one else would." Liam waited. "I am from the House of Siren," she began. "We are warriors, strong, proud. We don't ask for help, we take it, but I'm different. I was born weaker, slower. The others called me cursed." Liam frowned. "But you don't look weak to me." "I was chosen for the binding," she said. "A sacred ritual. Every warrior must bond with someone to prove they are worthy of leading. It is a test. But they all refused me. Every male of my kind said no." Liam's chest tightened. "Then the elders gave me one final chance," she continued. "Find a mate outside the clans. If I fail again, I will be exiled, or worse." "So, you came here to find a human?" Liam asked. "No," she said. "I came to find you." Liam leaned back. "But why me?" Alira met his eyes. "Because when I was younger, I watched a recording. A human soldier gave his life to save a child of my kind. He didn't know her. He had no reason to care, but he chose to protect her. That's what humans do," Liam said. "Sometimes." "I never forgot that," Alira whispered. "So I asked my people to track any surviving humans, and they found you." Liam didn't know what to say. No one had searched for him in years. No one had even cared if he was alive. Until now. "So you crashed your ship. For me?" "I crashed it with you in mind," she said. "Your planet is no longer safe. Your kind is almost gone. But if you bond with me, my people will have to protect you. And maybe we can save both our kinds." Liam laughed once, bitterly. "Me? Save your people? I can't even fix my own roof." Alira smiled for the first time. It was a small, soft smile, like a sunrise breaking through clouds. "You have a kind heart," she said. "That is stronger than any blade." Before Liam could answer, the ground trembled. A low hum filled the air. Alira stood up quickly. "They're here." "Who?" Liam asked. "The ones who watch the bond. They want to know if you accept." "And if I don't?" She looked straight at him. "Then they will take me, and you, and decide our fate themselves." Liam stood up slowly. His mind raced. This was bigger than him, bigger than survival. It was about trust, about standing for something again. He stepped closer to her. "Okay," he said quietly. "What do I have to do?" Alira looked at him with wide eyes. "Just stay beside me. That's all I need." But outside, through the cracks of the shelter walls, a strange glow began to rise. Tall figures in armor approached from the shadows, and they did not look patient. They don't take no as an answer. The glow outside grew brighter, and the shadows moved like smoke in the wind. Liam grabbed his old rifle out of instinct. It was barely functional, more rust than weapon, but it made him feel less helpless. Elira touched his arm. "Don't aim it at them. They see it as weakness." "Good to know," Liam muttered, lowering the gun. They stepped outside together. 6 tall alien figures stood in a semicircle around the shelter. They wore black robes woven with silver threads that shimmered in the fading light. Their faces were hidden behind masks shaped like snarling beasts. One of them stepped forward. "Is this the human?" The voice was deep, distant, like it echoed from inside a cave. Elira nodded. "Yes." The masked figure looked at Liam. "State your answer, human. Do you accept the binding or reject it?" Liam hesitated. His heart pounded in his chest. He barely knew Elira. He didn't understand her world, her customs, or the danger he was being pulled into. And yet, he looked at her. Her face was calm, but her hands trembled slightly. "I'm sorry," Liam said quietly. "I can't do this. Not like this." The wind stopped. The sky seemed to darken, though no clouds moved. The masked figure raised its hand. "Then you have spoken. The bond is rejected." "Wait," Elira began, but it was too late. A beam of red light shot into the sky, piercing the clouds above. A loud hum shook the ground, and the figures stepped back into the shadows. "What just happened?" Liam asked. Elira's voice was hollow. "They sent the signal." "What signal?" "Judgment." Liam turned to ask more, but a screeching sound filled the air. Something descended from the sky, fast, loud, and burning hot. It hit the ground near the cliffs and exploded into a storm of sand and fire. Liam covered his face. "They're bombing us?" "No," Elira said. "They sent the enforcers." "Enforcers," Liam repeated. "They don't kill," Elira said. "They erase." Out of the smoke came shapes, tall machines with glowing limbs and blades instead of hands. They moved without sound, like shadows with metal bones. Liam backed away. "They're coming here?" "Yes," Elira said. "Because you said no." The enforcers closed in. Their eyes scanned everything. The shelter, the fire, even the ground where Liam's footsteps had marked the dust. One of them raised a hand. Elira stepped in front of Liam. "He didn't know," she said. "He is not one of us. You cannot judge him like this." The enforcer did not stop. Liam saw the glow building in its chest. A weapon, maybe. Or something worse. "Elira," he said, pulling her back. "We have to run." "No," she said. "Running means guilt. It means shame. If we run, they'll mark both of us as broken. And if we stay, then you must say yes." Liam looked at her, his shelter, his only life. He looked at the enforcers. And then he nodded once. "Fine," he said. "I accept." The light in the enforcer's chest blinked, then disappeared. Silence fell again. The machines turned slowly, walking back into the desert. Their feet left no prints. Elira let out a slow breath. "They heard you." Liam sat down on the ground, exhausted. "So, I just agreed to marry an alien to stay alive?" "Yes," Elira said with a small smile. "But also, to stay human." Before he could ask what she meant, a symbol appeared in the sky. A glowing circle with lines of energy around it. "What's that?" Liam asked. "The trial begins," Elira whispered. "Trial? What trial? You accepted the bond. Now you must prove it." And with that, the sky above them changed color, deep red, and the ground beneath them trembled again. The trial of bonding begins. The red sky burned above them like a second sun, casting strange shadows across the land. The air smelled like metal and fire. Liam stood next to Elira, staring at the wide glowing circle that had formed on the ground. It pulsed with energy, alive, humming, almost breathing. "Step inside," Elira said softly. Liam looked at her. What happens if I fail? You won't, she replied, though her voice trembled. Liam stepped into the circle. The moment he did, a loud crack sounded behind them, like the sky itself had split in half. Strange symbols floated into the air around them, glowing in patterns Liam couldn't read. Then 6 shadowy figures appeared outside the circle, elders from Alira's world. They didn't speak. They only watched. A cold wind rushed across the circle. And suddenly, Liam felt pain. Not in his body, but in his mind. Memories flashed, through him. His mother's last hug. The shuttle leaving without him, his loneliness, his fears. Everything. He dropped to his knees. They are testing your heart, Alira whispered. You must not break. Liam gritted his teeth. The memories came faster now. His worst regrets, his darkest days. He saw himself crying alone, in the ruins of his city. He saw his own face in a broken mirror, whispering that he didn't matter. I'm not special, he said through the pain. I'm nobody. You are mine, Alira said, stepping into the circle beside him. As she entered, a sharp light cut across her arm, slicing it open. Her blood hit the ground and turned to blue fire. She didn't flinch. Why did that happen? Liam asked. Panicked. The circle tests both, she said. My pain is part of the bond. If I leave, you die. If you give up, I bleed again. Liam looked at her, eyes wide. That's insane. That's love in my world. He stood again. His legs shook. His heart raced, but something in him, something buried deep, refused to give up. Not now. Not after everything. Then came the second trial. The ground cracked and a creature rose from the dust. It was made of light and bone, with eyes that burned like stars. It didn't roar. It didn't growl. It only stared. You must defeat it, Alira said. With what? Liam asked. A stick? With your will, the creature charged. Liam ran straight at it. He didn't think. He didn't plan. He just moved. As the creature lunged, he dove under its swing and grabbed a piece of glowing stone from the circle's edge. It burned in his hand, but he didn't drop it. He stabbed the light creature in the chest. It froze, then shattered into dust. The circle pulsed again. The elders whispered now, their voices like wind through dead leaves. Alira smiled even as blood ran down her arm. You passed. But before they could breathe, the sky thundered. A new voice rang out. Powerful and cruel. He may have passed the bond, but he is still human. I reject him. Liam turned. A tall alien woman floated above the sand. Golden armor, silver, eyes and a crown of thorns, Alira whispered. My mother. Liam felt the chill of death in her voice. She came to stop this, Alira said. Liam looked up at the queen. I don't care what you are, he shouted. I didn't ask for this, but if you want to hurt her, he stepped forward. You'll have to go through me. The queen raised one hand, light began to form again, and the final test began. The queen's cruel order. Liam stood still, his fists clenched, eyes locked with the alien queen floating above the sand. She looked like a goddess of war, tall, graceful, deadly. Her silver eyes glowed without mercy. Even the elders in the circle stepped back as her presence filled the sky. She raised her hand slowly. I expected more, she said coldly. But this? A human? Alira stepped forward, blood still dripping from her arm. He passed the trial, Mother. The bond is real. I don't care what your bond claims, the queen snapped. A human cannot lead, cannot mix with royal blood. He will weaken you. He strengthened me, Alira said quietly. He didn't give up, even when the pain was too much. Liam looked at the queen. You don't know me. You only see what I am, not who. The queen laughed softly, like ice cracking. You dare speak before me? Your species lost its place in the stars. You are dust, forgotten. And you think you deserve one of my blood? Liam's chest rose and fell with quiet rage. I didn't come here asking for anything. I didn't beg. I was alone. She found me. The queen narrowed her eyes. Then she will suffer your fate. She waved her hand. Soldiers appeared, stepping out of shimmering portals, tall, armored, armed with glowing spears. Liam moved to stand in front of Alira. You'll have to go through me. The queen spoke just one word. Execute. The soldiers rushed forward. Alira screamed, but Liam didn't move. He stared down the attackers, heart pounding. And then, something strange happened. The ground beneath Liam glowed, not the circle. Not alien energy, but him. His skin shimmered. His blood pulsed with golden light. The soldiers stopped mid-charge. The queen's eyes widened. What is this? She whispered. One of the elders stepped forward, bowing low. My queen. The human carries the light. What light? She hissed. The old prophecy, the elder said. The one who glows shall unite the broken bloodlines. Impossible, the queen spat. The prophecy was a myth, but she saw it now. The glow from Liam's body matched the ancient symbols on her own crown. Liam looked down at himself, confused and scared. What's happening to me? Alira whispered, her voice shaking. Your blood. It's not just human. The elders dropped to one knee. He is the chosen one, they said together. The lost fire. The queen stepped back for the first time, uncertain. This changes nothing. No, Liam said. It changes everything. He walked forward, past the frozen soldiers. They didn't stop him. They bowed their heads. Liam stood before the queen. You tried to kill me because I was human. Now you know I'm more. But I haven't changed. I'm still the same man who offered Alira help without asking for anything. The queen looked away, ashamed, or afraid. Liam turned to Alira and held out his hand. You still want this bond? She took it without hesitation. The energy around them surged and the glowing circle burst into flames of light. The bond was complete. The crowd that had gathered across the cliffs knelt one by one. But not everyone celebrated. In the shadows, a dark figure watched, waiting. Someone who hated the old prophecy. Someone who had their own plan. The bloodline's secret. The flames from the circle faded slowly, but the power they released stayed in the air like thunder after a storm. Liam stood beside Alira, his hand still glowing faintly. The bond had changed him, not just inside but visibly. He could feel something new pulsing in his veins. Ancient, awake. The queen stared at him, her proud face now unreadable. Around her, even the most hardened warriors lowered their weapons. Yuto. Carry the lost fire, one elder whispered again. No one has seen it in 1,000 years. Liam looked at Alira. What does that mean? She looked at him with both fear and awe. There was once a warrior who united planets, ended wars, brought peace between enemies who had hated each other for centuries. He was not fully alien. He was something else. Was he human? Partly, she said. But no one knows how. The records were destroyed. Only the symbol of the glowing blood remained in our stories. Liam stepped away from the circle, confused. So I'm some kind of descendant? A voice behind them answered, sharp and cold. No, you're a mistake. They all turned. A tall figure stepped out of the shadows. He wore no armor, no crown, only black robes and eyes that seemed to swallow light. Who are you? The queen demanded. I am the guardian of the old path, the stranger said, and I swore to destroy the one who carries the blood of both worlds. The queen raised a hand. You dare challenge the bond? I don't challenge the bond, he said. I end it. With a sudden movement, he sent a wave of dark energy toward Liam and Alira. Liam pushed Alira out of the way, but the force slammed into him like a wall of ice and stone. He hit the ground hard, gasping. Alira ran to him, but the dark figure raised his hand again. Stay down, girl, he growled. You're already tainted. The queen stepped forward, power building in her arms. You will not touch my daughter, again. But the stranger was faster. He blasted her with a second wave. The queen fell, stunned but alive. Liam pushed himself up, bleeding from his mouth. Why? He coughed. Why do you hate me so much? The stranger's eyes narrowed. Because you're not supposed to exist. You carry both the fire and the weakness of humans. If you bond with her, everything changes. Laws, bloodlines, power, all destroyed by one broken human. Liam looked at Alira, who knelt beside him. We didn't ask for any of this, he said. But if it threatens your control, maybe it's worth fighting for. He stood again, the glow returned. But now, it wasn't just gold. It burned white. The dark figure's face twisted in fear. That power, the elders began to chant. The sky responded. The ground shook. He is not a mistake, one elder said. He is the bridge. Liam walked forward slowly, every step shaking the dust. You want to end this? He asked. Then try. The stranger screamed and charged, and Liam did something no human had done in 1,000 years. He caught the attack midair and shattered it with a single breath. Light exploded across the cliffs. When the dust settled, the stranger was gone. Silence fell. Alira touched his hand, her eyes full of tears. You saved us. All of us. The queen stood again, breathing heavily. Her pride was gone, replaced by something else. Respect. She knelt before Liam. Welcome to our world, she said. But Liam's eyes were still on Alira. He whispered, I only stayed for her. The wedding that changed the galaxy. The sky had never looked this clear before. The fires of war had faded. The chants of the elders had stopped. For the first time in generations, silence was not a sign of fear, but peace. Liam stood at the edge of the ancient platform, high above the alien valley. Glowing crystals floated in the air. A soft wind moved through the trees below, carrying whispers from across the stars. People had come from every corner of the galaxy. Warriors, scientists, leaders, even enemies. Just to witness what no one ever thought possible. A human and an alien royal, bonding as equals. He wore simple robes, stitched by Alira's own hands. Nothing fancy. Just truth and strength. Then she appeared. Alira walked toward him in silver robes that sparkled like stars. Her long dark hair flowed behind her, decorated with lights that matched the colors of her homeworld. But it wasn't her dress that silenced the crowd. It was her eyes. They didn't glow with power or fear, but love. Calm, steady, real. She reached him and stopped. For a moment, nothing existed except the two of them. Liam whispered, You still want this? Alira nodded. I wanted this the moment you saved me, even when you didn't know what I was. The queen stepped forward, holding the ancient blade of unity. Her voice was clear and firm. This bond is beyond race, beyond blood. It is choice, and choice is the one thing no power can take. She handed the blade to Liam. He placed a drop of his blood on the blade. Alira did the same. The blade shimmered and vanished into light. The bond was complete. A wave of energy pulsed out from the platform, flowing across the valley. Everywhere it touched, peace followed. Old enemies stopped. Tired fighters dropped their weapons. For a moment, the galaxy remembered what unity felt like. Cheers rose, but Liam and Alira didn't move. They stood there, forehead to forehead, hands together. I never thought I'd matter, Liam whispered. I never thought I'd be chosen. You weren't chosen, Alira said. You were needed. Hours later, in the quiet of the night, the stars above glowed brighter than ever. Liam sat with Alira beside the fire. What happens now? He asked. She leaned against him. We rebuild. Together. And the others? They will follow. Not because of fear, but because they saw something today. Something rare. Liam smiled. Hope. She nodded. Yes. And love. And far away in forgotten places, other humans saw the news. They saw the bond, the ceremony, the queen bowing to a human, and slowly, they started to come out of hiding, not as survivors, but as equals. The galaxy would never forget this day. Not because of war, but because a simple human said yes and saved everything.